So Sunday night, the XFL unveiled its team markets and venues. So Arlington, notice it wasn't Dallas, Houston, Orlando, Las Vegas, San Antonio, Seattle, St. Louis, and Washington, D.C. Those are your 8 cities for the XFL's coming 2023 season. All hit on the nose. Arlington, Dallas, okay, whatever. From our own XFL insider, Mike Mitchell. So season tickets deposits are exclusively available now at xfl.com/tickets, and the season kicks off, of course, February 18th, 2023. So the XFL is excited to announce the cities and venues that its teams will call home, starting with the upcoming season, which will kick off on February 18th, 2023. The announcement was made over on Sunday by Dany Garcia, Chairwoman and Owner, and Dwayne Johnson, owner, at the XFL Townhall event hosted in Texas Live in Arlington, Texas, and streamed live on XFL's YouTube page. The XFL cities and venues, as well as head coaches pairing, are as follows. So now we know who is going to where. So Arlington, Texas, Choctaw Stadium, you guys, Bob Stoops, no surprise there. Houston, Texas, TDECU Stadium, Wade Phillips going back to Houston. Orlando, Florida, Camping World Stadium will have Terrell Buckley at the helm there. Las Vegas, Nevada, to be determined, to be announced. But your head coach is Rod Woodson. There was talk of maybe Reggie Barlow being the Las Vegas coach. Or was it San Antonio, I should say. San Antonio, Texas, back at the Alamodome. Hines Ward is your head coach there. Seattle, Washington, Lumen Field. Jim Haslett is your head coach there, bringing with him we'll get to that in a second. St. Louis, Missouri, the Dome. Anthony Becht is your head coach. Super good. You should get excited about him. He's got a lot of energy. He's bringing it. And, of course, my D.C., Washington, D.C., Audi Field, back at Audi Field, Reggie Barlow. Man, who would have thought after all this stuff, almost 2 years, to be back at the XFL, watching an XFL game in Audi Field after all the craziness that happened over the last 2 years. So beginning fans can go to xfl.com/tickets to reserve their season tickets, which will provide them with early access to selected seats and purchase tickets before the general public. Quote, we had a clear vision for the XFL, the values to instill, the diversity of our leaders, the innovation of the game, and how we want to deeply engage with our communities so they can help bring this vision to life. Today, our league will takes another step closer to 2023 kickoff as we officially announce where our teams will play, said Dany Garcia, Chairwoman and Owner. What brings a league to life is the passion of the fandom behind it. In each of these cities, we will co-create with our fans and build these teams from the ground up so that they represent the unique fabric of our communities. We welcome all football fans to join us as we get ready for kickoff in February. Another quote from The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. As Jerry Cardinale, I put pen to paper building this league. The first thing we identified as one of the most important elements of the XFL to be successful was selecting the iconic cities and venues for our teams, said Dwayne Johnson, XFL owner. For each community to join in the rally cries of their chosen team to support and lift up these players and their families who would be representing each city, their city, we needed to make sure we were including the most important voices in the room, the fans. When making these decisions, we have been working on cool new logos, innovative uniforms that match the dynamic and innovative vision of our league. We can't wait to share in the electrifying excitement from fans once they meet their new hometown team. We'll see you at kickoff, close quote. And finally, also, we had Jerry Cardinale, quote, the common theme amongst our new and returning cities is a shared passion for the game of football, said Jerry Cardinale, founder and managing partner at Redbird Capital Partners. There is a legitimate demand for spring football in North America. It's our job to deliver a world-class football experience both on and off the field, something that Dany Garcia had mentioned in her talk. It is our mission to be the #1 spring league in the world, close quote. Does the CFL count as being a spring league, or are they a summer league? We also have Russ Brandon, XFL president, quote, we are incredibly excited to announce our cities and venues and to match each with their head coach, many of whom have a personal history in these new home markets, said Russ Brandon, president. Earlier today, we wrapped up our last showcase of the summer in Arlington with other showcases taking place in D.C. and Orlando last month. I've been extremely impressed with not only the turnout of all these events, but the level of skill and talent these players exhibit. With our football operations team firing on all cylinders, I'm extremely optimistic about our future and dynamic football we will deliver to our fans this upcoming spring, close quote. So, of course, the XFL will kick off in February 18th, 2023, in partnership with a new exclusive broadcasting partner of Walt Disney Company. I love me some Disney and ESPN. I'm not a really big ESPN watcher anymore. Of course, you can follow them, all their teams. So you've got the teams. You got Bob Stoops with Matt McMillan and Randy Mueller in the front office, Jonathan Hayes and Jay Hayes. Apparently, Jay Hayes might have leaked that it's being called the Arlington Renegades, but who knows what's that. Oh, none of us are surprised by that. XFL Houston, Wade Phillips, Danielle Lee, and Mark Lellybridge will be the front office. AJ Smith, Brian Stewart are your coordinators. And XFL Orlando, Terrell Buckley, you got Patrick Austin and Larry Lee as front office. Robert Ford, Tony Carter as your coordinators. Las Vegas, Rod Woodson, Tamiko Richardson, and Joey Clickscales are your front office. To be announced, OC and DC, though we think that Chris Dishman will be the defensive coordinator in Las Vegas with Rod Woodson. He was at some of the event. XFL San Antonio, Hines Ward is your new coach. Jose Jefferson and Will Lewis. Jamie Elizondo and Jim Herman are your coordinators there. Elizondo, of course, was with the Tampa Bay Vipers. He's back, and he was with the CFL Edmonton Elks. Jim Herman, I believe, was the defensive coordinator at the New York Guardians. XFL Seattle has Jim Haslett, Pat Matthews, Randy Mueller is your front office. Randy Mueller was the one that built up your Houston Roughnecks to being undefeated with their head coach, June Jones is the offensive coordinator. How cool is that? And Ron Zook is your defensive coordinator. Seattle is going to light stuff up. That is really exciting to see them. St. Louis, Anthony Becht, Anastasia Ali, and Dave Bowler. Dave Bowler, I believe, was with the XFL as well. Bruce Gradkowski, remember him, quarterback back in the day, and Donnie Abraham, your defensive coordinator. I believe Donnie Abraham played with the Jets. And XFL XFL Washington, D.C., my coach, Reggie Barlow, Stacey Johnson, and Vaughn Hutchinson are your front office. Offensive coordinator, running back is Fred Cass, and Greg Williams. Yeah, that Greg Williams is the defensive coordinator. We should have a good team. Greg Williams, no matter what you said about whatever happened in the past, he is a great defensive coordinator. A couple things that Dany Garcia had brought up during this event that was covered by a couple of folks from XFL News Hub was there. Jay Noakes and Anthony Miller was the, and you can see them actually in the crowd if you check out the video, even though the audio was not very good. But she mentioned about co-creating things with the fans. That was something that was interesting. And The Rock talked about you watch football, but you're going to experience the XFL. That, I think, is a new mantra that it's going to come forward. Stay tuned for all that. But the XFL, you have your cities. We have the venues. Season tickets are on sale now. Who knows if we'll ever get a number, but I've seen a lot of people on Twitter, at least, talking about the cities and getting their tickets. So there you have it, my friends. The long await is over. We know the cities. And now it's just countdown to the XFL kickoff.